Hi everyone, welcome to diary number 35. Last time I talked about what happened during the last month and all the ups and downs, and I outlined some stuff that I'm gonna be doing next. And a part of that was to analyze the data gathering that was happening constantly during that time, plus I needed to rebuild my whitelist generator. So that's some of the topics that we're going to cover today. As for data gathering, I'm also going to go into the cost, how much it costs me to get all of this data right here and whether it's worth it. And then I'm going to give you some insights that I got so far based on that analysis. Towards the end, I'm going to show you some of the best coins and some of the worst coins that are based on my results here in the data gathering algorithms. And of course, we're going to have the Show Me the Money segment, which is not about data gathering, but it's about the real trading algorithms that have larger order sizes. Last time we were at 740 USDT almost, so we'll see how far we've gotten since that day. Alright, my gathering algorithms here have been working actually non-stop ever since the first days of previous month, the month of November. Despite what was going on with real trading, where it had been blown out by auto stops and I stopped things and I restarted things, here these guys have been running all the time. And if we were to go here to reports, you will see that we have data for every single day starting on November 1st and up to today. So overall, as you can see, I've spent more than 5 weeks gathering data, and here is the resulting spreadsheet. If we look at the dates here, we go all the way from early November to today. And based on that, I've got so many trades. If we go down to the last line, it's more than 14,000 trades. Now that is quite a lot. So for the setup here, to remind you, I was using a set of 4 different distances. Here they are. It's 0.8, 1.1, 1.5, and 2. And I had a set of algorithms that we can find here. For some reason there's 5. Well, I'll explain to you what the reason is. So here for 0.8, I was using the top 10 active markets on trades data. And for the remainder, I was using ticker price because the distances were higher. So this is 1.1, 1.5. And then I have 2 for 2.0% distance. Well, actually, these two are not running simultaneously. First, I tried it with 25 active markets, and I was quite often getting trading bans from the exchange. So I moved it down to 22 active markets on a larger distance, still getting trading bans from time to time on specific coins though. But overall, it's working much better than the 25. So here, I've got 4 of these algorithms. And the ones on ticker price were working quite smoothly except for the bans. But this one, on trades data, it crashed the core a couple of times. Especially when it's been running for a long time, like a week without rebooting, without restarting the core, then sometimes it would crash on memory usage. But overall, it's been doing all right. Now, with so much data and several accounts, of course, in order to analyze this, I have to rebuild my whitelist generator and my analytics tool right here. So that's what I have been doing for the last week. And the more data you have, the more hassle it is to build this file, to input the data and so forth. And with so many lines, Excel is working really hard to actually manage this whole thing. So let's say I press save now and we'll see how long it takes. 1, 2, 3. Here it's saving, it's still saving, and now it's done. All right, so it's not as fast, but with 14,000 lines, that's what you get. Maybe at some point I'll trim it down and leave only the very recent trades But so far, I want to see it all. I want to see what happened during the month. Actually, managing data from many different accounts is actually another thing. That's another topic, and I'm learning as I go along, because previously I had only one file and one account for data gathering and another one for trading. It was quite simple. Today, it's not that simple. And to show you what I mean, I'll show you an interim version of this that I had a couple of days ago. Let's go here. Yeah. So this is what I mean. This is one of the interim files that I was dealing with before I got it all correct. So look here. Looks okay. But here for the time, we have some weird stuff. And here for distance, we have some error values. So for some trades, I don't even know what the distance was. And here, I don't even know what algorithms triggered the trades that ended up in this category. But most importantly, for my analysis, I don't know what the Bitcoin 5-minute range was for some trades. And if we click here, we see that it's almost 11 USDT worth of losses. And I don't know where they came from. There's like 44 losses, 5 profits. If I were to go to my generator, these will be excluded from my selections because I do it based on distance and I do it based on the Bitcoin 5-minute range. So what are these? If we scroll here, these are the trades. You see all of these coin deltas and Bitcoin deltas have no data in them. So why? What happened here? So let's go and check this out. If we scroll over here, we'll see that the closed column contains 2 entries. It's auto stop and it's liquidation. And prior to that, I did not have so many liquidations for them to make a huge difference. But here, there's a whole bunch of them. And for some, there is data about the distance and the take profit and the stop loss, etc., and the algorithm that actually made it happen. But then for a lot of them, these are errors here. There is no data in the raw file. So let's check out what happened. If I go to the raw data, this is a line I highlighted for you. So here we have a trade, Super USDT. Let's see how super that is. So first of all, open time, we're back in the 70s for some reason. And here, yeah, the close time is valid, but the open time is 1970, 1st of January. All right, we first need to fix that somehow. And the actual open time is unknown. There is no way to figure it out based on the reports. So what I do is just take this and copy here, and I assume that it happened within that same second. That's the best assumption I can make. There is no other way. Now, if we look here, the price delta is 0. I mean, we have some coins in executed quantity, and then the P&L of the coin is 0, but I'm not using that data really, well, except for the price delta. But now here we see that it was closed by liquidation, and the algorithm column, it's formatted slightly differently. That's why my table right here is not picking that up, because it's very dependent on having this specific format. But okay, I can fix that. I can remove the extra things that are coming from Moontrader here. All right. Now for this line, we should have all the data such as the take profit and stop loss and the distance, which is especially important. Now, if we scroll over here where the reports are supposed to have all the coin deltas and Bitcoin deltas, there is nothing. It's completely empty. If we go all the way, there is nothing here. So I need that data. I need that data to complete my analysis. So first I figured that the coin deltas are lost forever here. There is no way I can reconstitute this data anyway. But for the Bitcoin, I did some sort of workaround. I fudged the data, for lack of a better word. So what I did is I looked here at the times and I looked at other trades. Thank God I have so many trades here. So I took this particular time and I looked at other trades that happened somewhere around that time. Just for the sake of argument, let's say that this one is very close in time. And I went over here, and for the Bitcoin deltas, I just took them out. For triggers specifically, I'm interested in the trigger deltas. So I took this and I pasted it here. And that populated all of the data for Bitcoin volatility that I wanted to see. Now, that's not an exact science, but it's the best I can do. It's better than having no data at all and missing some of the trades. So this was the liquidation part, and now we also have something called an auto stop right here. And if we go specifically to auto stop, I was surprised to see what is that exactly, because in my data gathering accounts I do not have any auto stops. So I started looking, and what I found is that the open time is surprisingly exactly on the dot of an hour. Well, here it's 2 seconds lagging, 5 seconds lagging, but generally it's at exactly some hour and 0 minutes and around 0 seconds. And then it dawned on me that this has something to do with funding. Funding is sort of a tool that Binance invented to adjust the market. And here, for example, for every coin, you see the funding rate, and then there is the funding time. So these adjustments are made every 8 hours or every 4 hours for some coins. And I'll have to make a whole separate video about funding, and at this time I'm not completely sure what exactly the mechanism is. This is where these auto stops are coming from, and I don't know what to do with them yet, and there's not too many of them, so I'll leave it be for now. Actually, it's pretty nice that these are all profits. I'm not complaining here at all. As you can see now, my file is working okay, and it took me a while to rebuild the whole thing, and I try to improve it as much as I can without wasting another week or another 2 weeks. So there are a couple of things that I added. First of all, I added the volume, which is just a sum of all order sizes. So this is my trading volume for the whole 14,000 trades at 15 USDT each. I traded a volume of just a little bit over 200k USDT. Well, right here I've already spoiled the total P&L for my data gathering, but that will be a separate section of this video. Just forget about it right now. Now, another thing I did was that my main pivot table is now in a separate tab, and the generator is in another tab altogether. It makes it easier. There were some glitches happening in Excel, and it's now cleaner this way. Also, I've added something that's called flat Bitcoin cutoff. So here I have added filters for flat Bitcoin and for high Bitcoin volatility. And let's go, I'll show you what it means. So here, let's say for week 46 on more or less flat Bitcoin, the generator tells me that I have 36 orders. Now, if I were to change this and say, okay, now I think that high Bitcoin cutoff is 0.5. Anything below that is considered flat, and anything above that is volatile. Now, if I were to refresh this, you see now we have 38 orders here. I think that's neat. That's a bit easier to handle. Now, these remain the same so far, although I have many ideas on how to improve these. Now, for the generator itself, now my coins are alphabetized here. As you can see, it's going to be easier to find each particular coin if I want to look at it. And also, it automatically highlights any duplicates. So here it says that This coin, YFI, is doing pretty good at 0.8, and it's also doing okay at 1.1. So now it's easy to see. When there's lots of them, it's not as easy to see, but still. Like blur here and blur here. I don't know, MTL here and MTL here. This will aid my manual processing of this. So I figured that I can't just take these and paste them straight into Moontrader and then expect good results. Once these have been selected, I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and filter them additionally to that. But that's another story for later. Now going back to that cost that I've spoiled to you already. You see, through all of the 5 weeks on these data gathering algorithms, I've lost over 53 USDT. Now that seems like quite a lot. But let's go and see the daily costs. Here they are. So this is a little easy pivot table. Here we have all the dates in chronological order. Here we have the distances that my algorithms are trading on for data gathering. Here I have the total P&L for each particular day. Here I have the running P&L. And here also I've got the number of trades that happened on each day on all the distances. Here I've quickly done an average per day, and overall the data gathering costs me 1.4 USDT per day. Is that a lot? Is that little? It all depends. If based on this data I'm earning more than 1.4 USDT every day, then it's worth it. And actually, let's take a closer look at the running P&L. It started early in November, and up until early December, it was holding its own. For the whole month of November, it only cost me, 3.5 USDT overall. And that's pretty good. That's like dirt cheap. But the thing is that after that, it got so much worse. In one day, it lost me 39 USDT. That was very high Bitcoin volatility, 1,700 trades a day. And on the other hand, there was another day with high volatility. We got a bit fewer trades, 1,200, but it earned me 19 USDT. So that's why it was holding its own. And this thing gave me quite an insight. If you're emotionally attached to your algorithms and you look at them at different points in time, you may get different reactions. If I were to look at my algorithm's results right here, where it's plus 10 USDT, then I might go, wow, these are very cool algorithms. They've been running for 2 weeks and they're making me money. That's great. Let's leave them alone. They're perfect. But then sometime later, I might look at it on here on this day, and I'm gonna go, oh my God, this is a disaster. It's losing so much money. So it's all about perspective and understanding that the market is not static. On some days it's doing well, especially here, and on some days it's doing badly. Well, from the color you can see that the distance of 0.8 is mostly doing quite badly. There are very few days where it's in green. As we move along up in distance, there are more and more positive days. In 1.5, here we have a whole streak, and the bad days are few and far in between. Well, except for here, something definitely happened here. But if we were to look at overall results, it would be pretty much as expected. The shorter distances are considered to be more dangerous, and the larger distances are considered to be safer. So here, as expected, the major losses are on shorter distances. On 1.1 we have not so many losses. Here it's pretty reasonable, pretty tolerable, and the distance of 2, even on active markets, is giving me 6.6 USDT. That's on order size of 15. So that's pretty cool. Now, there is a reason I have these slicers over here. Let's play around with this one. So remember my cutoff point? That's shown right here. So now it's 0.5. Let's go to 0.4. And let's check out the results per day. So I need to refresh this. Now, let's go flat Bitcoin. So on flat, the picture is pretty much similar. Every step up in distance is more profitable. So here we have a lot of losses, not so many losses, and here we have profits already at 1.1, or I mean at 1.5, and then a bit more profit at 2. Now let's go to high BTC volatility and check this out. Now this is quite different. You see, now at 2 we still have some profits, but then all of a sudden 0.8 is also profitable. How did that happen? Well, maybe there are so many trades that happened at high volatility that did not reach any of these distances, so it sort of paid for itself. Now the worst performing is 1.1 here. So the conclusion to that might be that, you know, flat Bitcoin and active Bitcoin is really different from each other. They're quite a different beast. And overall, you know, this is what we have, minus 54. Now, is it worth paying that much? And I have to mention that my algorithms that gather data are pretty much not protected by anything. They do not have Bitcoin filters. They do not have individual coin filters. I think they only have the mark price filters and also price step filters. Let's check these out. Yeah, you see some coins are blacklisted. I'll tell you why in just a second. So here I have the price step filter, I have the mark price filter, but anything else is unfiltered. And there is a reason I'm doing it this way. You know, first, for quite some time I thought that, okay, I want to make my data gathering very close to what my actual trading algorithms are doing to not have to sift through some extraneous data and actually lose all of this money. But then it dawned on me, I really want to see the whole market. What is it doing under all circumstances? And with that, I will be able to work out different strategies for different situations on the market. You see, previously I had only one strategy, which was, well, at first it was more or less random, but then I got my whitelist generator working and I picked these coins, but that was still only one strategy. Once I implemented another one, which was a single distance for high Bitcoin volatility, that's when the profits started rolling in. So several strategies is better than one strategy. And so by having all of this data available to me, I can at some point work out what some other profitable strategies might be. So I decided to just take in this cost and not fool around with it. Just leave it unprotected, no auto stops, no nothing, 1.4 USDT per day. It's not too bad. Now, this is all interesting, but what about the coins? I promised to show you the good and the bad coins. For that, I have a pivot table right here. It's very simple and Spartan, but it shows you what you need to see. So here, at this point in time, I have it sorted alphabetically by coin, and doing that, you cannot really make any conclusions. Here I have prepared the top 10 lines, and we'll sort this in different ways and see what the top 10 is actually like. All right, so first, I need to remind you that this is for 5 weeks, all algorithms, all coins that have ever had a single trade. So for the grand total, let's sort it and see which ones are the best. All right, so here we have the top 10 overall. It's both flat Bitcoin and active Bitcoin. Whatever happened on the market, these are the results. This is the top 10. I mean, altogether, if you look at the grand total, it's over 16 USDT. So if I were to limit my algorithms only to these ones, no matter what happened, I'd get 16 instead of minus 54. Now, this is not doing so well at the distance of 1.1, but overall it's fine. Now, let's look at the bottom of the barrel. Sort it like this. All right, so these are the worst performing coins during that time for my specific algorithms. And altogether, these guys lost me 56 USDT. So most of my losses are because of these ones right here. I mean, there is no really redeeming value for any of these. This is 20 cents, 50 cents. I mean, these are bad any way you look at them. Now I'm actually wondering how many coins are losing overall and how many are profitable overall. So let's check this out. There are 88 of them, and they lost me over 120 USDT. Some bad guys right here. Now let's check out these ones that are overall profitable. Here we end up with 136 coins and over 69 USDT in profit. Interestingly, there are many more coins that are overall profitable and less coins that are not so profitable, but then these losses cancel out anything good that could have happened with these good coins. Well, actually, what I'm interested in is how many altogether I've got. Altogether, I've got trades on 224 coins. I believe that's nearly everything that Binance has to offer, actually. Let's go here to management. We have 237 coins, and we have trades on 224 of them. So in 5 weeks, I've covered pretty much the whole market. There are some coins that my algorithms will never be able to pick up, like here where the minimum order size is much larger than 15. So Solana, Bitcoin, and AVAX, they never end up trading for my data gathering. But otherwise, I mean, I've covered pretty much everything. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Now, from this, my next steps would be to actually run the generator, filter out the coins that I don't want, see the duplicates and so forth, and actually run my flat algorithms, because right now I'm only running and relying on high BTC algorithms. Speaking of which, let's check out how they did since last time I've shown my profits or losses to you. It's here. All right. I've made a similarly looking table for my real trading algorithms with order sizes of 1,000 USDT. So this is not data gathering, this is real stuff. All right, so last time we were here on this date and I've shown you 739. Well, since then it's been climbing up, except for this one day, but here we got 9, 29, minus 5, 18, 20. Oh, again, it's not every day, but it's climbing up for a total of 812 so far. I mean, it's not 600, it's not 100, it's like drops in the bucket every day, but it's still going up. And I have yet to analyze everything here. I've been focusing on the data gathering. This would be one of the next steps. But what I noticed here is these two dates. What's interesting about them? Well, this is the one that gave me 617 USDT in 220 trades. That shows very high volatility. And on the surface, this day actually looks quite similar or even more volatile than before. This is 315 trades. But the difference is that this gave me only 29 USDT instead of 600. These days were very volatile, but the results were very different. And I'm really looking forward to checking out what actually happened here. What is the difference? What makes these 2 days result in very different outcomes? But that's the story for one of the future videos. I haven't done any particular analysis except for this one. So what could I say overall so far to summarize this video? First of all, working with that much data and multiple accounts brings in new challenges, the ones that I haven't seen before at all, with fewer accounts and much less data. And I have to look into how I'm able to optimize that further. I mean, manually trolling through missing data and filling in the Bitcoin volatility with my best guesses. That's quite a chore, but maybe if I want complete data or something very close to complete, I might have to do that. Secondly, the cost so far of gathering data on 15 USDT orders is about 1.4 USDT per day. But I think I will keep doing that. I will continue gathering the overall data on the market as much as I can. I mean, with 224 coins, I've covered pretty much everything. And then I'll try and figure out some other strategies that work for different market situations, not only my Whitelist Generator or my single distance high BTC. And if I really work on figuring that out, then the cost of 50 USDT per month or whatever it is will be so much worth it. Another thing we saw is that flat Bitcoin and high volatility Bitcoin are really different. I mean, you saw that based on the overall results per distance in my data gathering. And now I have the data to optimize them both. So the next thing I'm gonna do is run the generator and pick the good coins for a flatter Bitcoin, and we'll see how that goes. And also I'm planning to do a deep dive analysis of the real trading and figure out what actually was different on those 2 days where I had over 200 and 300 trades, but the results in P&L were vastly different. I am looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. We'll see you in the next video.